Receiving that phone call was really one of the worst things I've ever had to endure in my entire life.
I was a 20-year-old sophomore attending Alabama A&M University. And during spring break, which was 2015, my friends and I went to Panama City Beach and we went to a house party and a guy began shooting and shot 7 people. I was one of the 7 who got shot.
As soon as my feet hit the floor and the words "Kiara was shot" came out, my legs collapsed from under me.
And I got shot in my head, my right temporal lobe. And due to the impact of the bullet, it caused several other injuries, which the right side of my head, my skull was shattered. My right eye was swollen shut. My right ear was blown back. My right cheek was split. And my right TMJ bone was crushed.
Never in a million years did I think that she was actually shot in the head.
In my life, I've had 43 fractures. I had to think of my last one that just happened. 43 fractures and 14 surgeries, countless hours of physical therapy. So my disability is called osteogenesis imperfecta, better known as brittle bone disease. And it is a genetic mutation that happens while the infant is inside the womb. And it basically means that you have weak bones, you'll be shorter in stature, less muscular development, things like that. So it affects mobility. So much of my life has been in and around the hospital setting.
Rehab for Kiara was hard. She was just like a newborn baby. She couldn't sit up. She could literally do nothing for herself. So trying to teach her all of these things over again was really like teaching a newborn baby how to take the first steps.
So my exercise specialist gave me a pamphlet with canine companions information on how I could get myself an assistance dog.
I didn't want to be relying on another adult in me becoming an adult. So I was at a conference for people with brittle bone disease, and I met a young lady that had a service dog from Canine Companions, and it blew me away.
So I became a puppy raiser after a near-fatal equestrian accident that required me to relearn who I was and how to live my life. Learning life with a disability and learning who I was different from who I am and what I became, I knew that I wanted to make a difference in somebody else's life. And during my time in the wheelchair, I knew that assistance dogs could create greater independence, and then I actually met a few assistance dogs working. And I decided I was gonna get out of the wheelchair and I was going to raise a puppy for somebody else who wasn't as lucky as I was to get out of the wheelchair. I think raising a puppy on a college campus is something that you can't get as a different type of puppy raiser. I was able to raise before going to college, and it was a very different experience for me being on campus and off campus. I was blessed that I got the opportunity beforehand, but I also see the added benefits of being on a college campus and getting to interact with more people than you'd get just going to the grocery store. I think raising on a college campus allowed me to branch out of myself. I always am an outgoing type of person, but it gave me something that people always ask me, who is this, what are they doing, what's going on, and it allowed me to, I guess, bridge the gap of the public and private life, and kind of similar to our graduates, that the dogs allow a new conversation to begin. I'm now on puppy number 6, and I just keep going.
I decided to become a puppy raiser after seeing the impact that Tolliver had on my brother's recovery at all different stages. My brother had a traumatic brain injury in 2011, and then several years later was placed with Tolliver, and he helped my brother learn, focus on his speaking when his voice was weak. He picked things off the floor when it wasn't safe for Forrest to bend over. And now Tolliver is enabling Forrest to go to college. They're an amazing team together.
before I got my first puppy, I had 1 year under my belt at college, so I kind of had an idea of how I was going to maneuver a second year with the puppy, but it definitely was a learning curve. The puppy requires a lot more attention than I do myself, so I had to make sure the puppy went out. We had training every single day, and I also had to put my studies above everything else. But the first puppy I also co-raised, so it was a nice kind of weaning into the situation for puppy number 2.
I've always loved dogs, and when I saw the impact that my brother's service dog had on his and my family and our whole community's lives, I wanted to give back in some small way by puppy raising. It can be a challenge, puppy raising while doing a PhD or any college program.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a dog person. I've always loved dogs. I had never really thought about puppy raising before, but I knew that that was something that he wanted to continue doing, and I was really excited to see how it would go with Dune, and he's been just a great puppy, especially as a first puppy for me.
It makes it a lot easier being able to co-raise with someone and split that responsibility, and at the same time it gives you a lot of energy and passion and purpose, and so you can be productive in other phases of life.
Canine Companions for Independence and Step at UCF really just means a great opportunity for all of us to kind of come connected as one, especially with the younger generation. I feel like we have such an opportunity to get a lot of younger people involved so they're able to raise more puppies where they grow up with the organization as well. And it's just a really amazing, and I just feel blessed that I get to raise these puppies and just hand them off to the forever graduate, and they get to go on and provide the independence that these people need.
When I was matched with Darling, I knew that she was perfect for me, because when I first laid eyes on her and I got to handle her during team training, I was like, yeah, she's the one. She just loved me instantly, and like she knew my needs.
Since she's received Darling, she has someone that she feels confident with and someone that's by her side, because I'm not there no more. Taking her everywhere and doing everything. And I can kind of let the reins go a little bit, knowing that she has Darling by her side.
Before my disability, I was kind of reserved and didn't go out as much because I felt as if people saw me for my disability. But since receiving Darling, she has gave me that confidence to go out and conquer the world, because people see this team and this bond that we share.
So Nerf is really great on campus. I'm running a little late. He's a pull dog, so I can grab onto his vest and tell him to pull and we'll zip off. And so he gives me that extra bit of speed that I may need, or the day where I'm tired and it's just harder to be pushing myself all day. He gives me that extra energy boost that I need. Canine Companions is just the people that work there, the volunteers, the puppy raisers, everybody involved in this mission are just so special. You know, it really takes a special individual to do what they do.
I think one of my most memorable and proudest moments was interacting with a couple of my professors that now, after graduating, they have turned and either texted me or called me or emailed me saying that they miss me and they're actually thinking of becoming puppy raisers because they miss having a puppy on campus with them and being in their classes.
So Step at UCF has allowed me to get involved with such an amazing organization from a college graduate standpoint, and I'm just able to know that as I move on past college, I have something that connects me back to my roots at UCF, and it's just an amazing opportunity to think about all of the future puppies that are going to come from this college and knowing that they've been exposed to something that I was able to help create.